So, what happened that night? I mean, this happened Saturday night, Sunday morning last week?
Yeah, I don't know, like I was gone doing a tree job on Sunday morning, and my wife called me and she said the horse is gone, and well, like I was just like, well, I mean, how's it gone? Like, with the gate left open or something? And she said no, like the fence is down and the horse is gone, and like didn't know where the horse was. And then her and the kids went walking through the woods behind where the fence is, and they ended up finding it, way over there, like good, 200 foot away from the fence. And the whole chest had been ripped out, and like
The hindquarters eaten out?
like a hindquarter was gone, like just completely gone around the bone.
Wow.
Like it looked like it just, like the chest looked like it just been ripped and cleaned out. Like there was like no insides.
Damn.
Yeah. And I came home that evening and I walked around. I couldn't even find the horse, like the rest of it.
So something come back
Something
that
back.
evening and got it.
Yeah, like I walked all the way up through the woods, everywhere I could walk, and I never found the rest of it.
Damn.
Yeah, like it's just gone.
Cavity right here at the chest. He was thinking the same thing I was thinking, maybe a big cat.
That's what we were thinking. But if you look, like anywhere on this fence, there's like no claw marks.
Right.
Or anything.
Heather was telling me about it had a coat.
It did. It had a coat that was gone. Like the coat was taken off of it, and it was laying over in the woods. That's the coat laying right there on the back of that truck. And I don't think it's got any marks on it.
That's what she was telling me. No buckles were undone or nothing.
It was just took off. Not yet. Didn't you say that the coat was took off of it? Yeah. And like it didn't have any marks or anything, cuts or anything on it?
Just a little mud on it.
Yeah.
And like, it was tight. It was water tight, and then the buckle was still buckled.
Was it like yes?
Yeah, that's how I picked it up.
It's
still buckled.
It's not even undone.
Dude, that's a lot of tension on there. That's still keeping it closed.
Yeah. And like, now there was blood in it. But
Okay.
not on the outside. That's
Blood
just,
on the inside.
yeah, but not on the outside.
And what I saw from the pictures you sent me, there was none around.
It was just like there was no blood anywhere. Just she was just had holes in there.
Dang.
Did they look like puncture wounds or?
No, it just looked like a circle hole.
Oh, right. Okay. That's what we were talking about. At first, it sounds like a big cat doing, like a mountain lion had done it. But here's the thing: they cover their prey up.
Yeah. Did you see the fence? Did he show you the fence? You can see where something come over and then went out in the middle one.
Yeah.
But there's nothing, no mess anywhere.
Right.
And like I said, that was on her tight. Like I'll put that on her. Like that was snug.
You put it on there to where it wouldn't come off.
Like I even asked him if he thought it was too tight because it wouldn't move.
Yeah.
And like it's not even unbuckled. That's how I picked it off. So I thought that was weird.
Thing of it is, you can tell right here. You'd be able to tell if somebody undone the bucks right here.
Right.
And that mud's still caked on there like it ain't been touched. So
Yeah.
evidence, folks. All right, hey, here's the thing.
It was pulled back over her head or whatever.
Well, what gets me is the way it was put over the fence.
Yeah.
Because this wasn't it was a mini, but she was a big girl. I mean, she was,
I'm gonna grab mine.
All right.
she was, great.
Was she full grown? Was she an adult?
Well, just about. She stood about this tall, but she was round.
Big around. So she was probably about
And
500-600 pounds.
Yeah. And you
At
can
least.
tell, I mean, just the way it went over,
But right here, the tree is what puzzles me.
Yeah.
And you guys found it out there.
Yeah, about 150 feet, 200 feet from here. But there's no tracks, no blood. The only thing that you could see was a little bit of hair.
Well, you want to go walking through the woods?
That's fine with me.
All right.
You think it'd be easier to go up here? Or you want to go the way the horse
Let's
went?
go the way the horse went, or the way whatever went.
Alright. So what,
It went this way, whatever it was.
I mean, there's a lot of livestock in the area.
Yeah.
And have you heard anything from your neighbors or anything like that?
I mean, we just, you basic stuff, like, you know, you might have a dog go missing or a cat or, you know, something like that.
Okay.
It went this way.
You see no blood.
Yeah.
There's tires from it.
Hear from it.
Yeah, when I came home, I walked all the way up through here, and I never even found it. Huh?
Was taken off of it once it got to where it was taking it. The
R-
coat was 10 foot from it.
Yeah.
So it took it all the way up there, and then whatever it was took the coat off.
It's good to know. Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, I walked all the way back that way when I got home, and I never seen it
Wow.
anywhere. And you think that, you know, something, if it was another, like, animal or something, it would have left some parts behind. A little bit of evidence, but like,
Yeah.
huh?
It went on up there a little bit.
On up this way some more?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it'd been coyotes,
Yeah,
it would have been a mess.
yeah.
Bear, basically the same thing. That's why my buddy of mine and I kind of agreed. It looked like a cat.
Yeah.
But where it was found, wasn't covered up. It's out in the open.
Back there? You see, I mean, ain't nowhere to be found.
And that's the parkway.
Yeah. Parkway, right there.
Right here, guys. Yeah, right there is Blue Ridge Parkway.
I mean, she was a good sized little pony. So whatever took her had some strength to it.
Yeah. I don't know.
It blows my mind.
What bothers me is, I mean, I don't even live here. Y'all got kids, and it was this close to the house, and it was ballsy enough
Yeah.
to go
over
in
the
there
fence.
over the fence and get it. In fact, nobody knew nothing about it till it went missing. Y'all just say it's gone.
Yeah.
There was no racket, no nothing. That's what gets me.
Yeah.
Something else I wanted to ask you about, the lights.
Mm-hmm.
Where are the lights coming from?
Hey, that's another thing. We don't know. The lights.
The lights,
Yeah, the
they're
lights.
gone.
Huh?
The lights on the horse thing?
No, the lights that we seen like when we was in our bedroom that night.
Oh. Well, I've seen it a few times. He's seen it the last time it happened. Like we would lay down in our rooms. You know, if you take a camera, like a professional camera, and you click it and it'll flash,
Right.
that would happen. As soon as we'd lay down, it'd get dark, and you see a big white flash, and it light up the room. That when you open your eyes, it was dark again.
Wow.
It was just it was a big flash. I've seen it like twice. I guess he thought I was crazy. About a month or two later, then we both seen it.
Yeah.
And you said that, well, and when you texted me, you told me that you saw the lights coming up out of the mountain.
Well, that's something different.
That's something different?
That was like
Over that way?
the red, yeah, you can see lights, and it's all the time. You can see like lights.
What
go
color?
like,
What
shoot up.
what color are they?
I couldn't tell you. It's been a long time since I've seen any.
Really? You haven't seen that one?
No. I
Okay.
haven't seen that one.
Sometimes it's like you can tell it's not a plane because it goes like, you know, it's
Like
not like a drone
zigzags.
would do. But
Like
it's
it would
going to be a
the drone.
And a drone's not going to come out from the mountain in front of my house. And
No.
sometimes it'll shoot up, and then a lot of times it'll just disappear. You don't even see where it goes. So,
Wow. I got a couple people who I've been talking to about this. Just the situation. Trying to leave you two and your privacy alone.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a private person too. I don't like people knowing too much about me, even though I got my channel.
Yeah.
The fact that there's the lights, y'all saw the flash, he asked me to ask you this question, and I'm going to ask you just, have you guys experienced any loss of time? Like you see a flash, look at the clock, I mean, beforehand, like it's midnight, and you turn and look again, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
not paid any attention to that.
Really? You haven't noticed that at all. So that's you'd probably notice if there was. So I'm thinking you're good.
I mean, I didn't see a flash and wake up and it be morning time or nothing like that.
Right.
I didn't look at the clock either.
Right.
No, I hadn't noticed anything like that.
Now, y'all supposed to get the house.
The only thing that gets me is I don't want to keep feeding this thing.
Right.
Like, because the kids have already asked me, you know, can we get another horse? And I'm just like, not right now. Can we get more goats? Not right now.
Yeah.
Because till I figure out, you know, what's going on,
Right.
I want to, you know, I don't want to keep putting livestock out here. Now, I had pigs out here for, how long we having pigs? Almost a year. And, like, they never got bothered.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they were...
Besides that bear, but it didn't kill
Well,
him.
yeah, I had a bear come out on them one time, but, like, he didn't have a chance to get to him because I seen him before anything happened.
Right.
But they never really got messed with. It wasn't until we got the goats that, you know, that started happening. Now, I don't know if maybe the pigs were just too big and too heavy to get snatched or what, but...
Now, the goat was found on that little road there.
Yeah, the goat was found down there.
With no head, like from the chest, the neck was cut clean off all the way around, and its neck and head was gone.
Yeah.
And the goat was just laying on the bank by the road right there. But it wasn't a person. It was just gone.
Right.
Now, I never even found the head.
Yeah, it's what
But
she
the
was
head
telling
wasn't
me.
nowhere around anywhere.
And
You know, now that I think about it, you know how the horse was like hollow? So was the goat.
Yeah.
what?
The goat was kind of hollow
In its chest.
in its chest, too.
Huh. All right, here's another theory, and this is.
Ground out here and have to come quiet.
Oh no, I'm fine right here. You guys are the ones who. This is what this is about right now. I'm learning more from you than I am right now the lay of the land. I'm seeing nothing out of the ordinary. There's a little creek right there. There's road right there. I'm not seeing any. I remember I mentioned it may be Sasquatch activity. I'm not seeing none of that. Some people have, mentioned other cryptids, but I don't know. I don't know about all that.
Now, I've heard cryptid like a couple of times. What is that?
Cryptozoology. A cryptid is an undiscovered animal,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
these undiscovered animals are mythic and legends,
Right.
and
What's the one I'm looking for?
chupacabra.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Somebody mentioned that with the goat.
What's the goat?
I said chupacabra, maybe. I mean, I've heard of instances like that, and then there's the horse, but then there's, oh my God, a whole rabbit hole of weird.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you. Until about 6.5, 7 years ago, when it came to the cryptids and stuff, I thought it was all bullshit.
Yeah.
Until I figured out I already had an experience of my own. And then I get out and I start having experiences, and I have interactions with these things. But the thing of it is, I've never actually seen one. This right here is different altogether, because it's so weird.
Yeah.
It has the earmarks of some cryptid activity, but it also, I don't know if you guys have heard about the animal mutilations out west from UFO sightings, people seeing lights and this, that, and the other. Another friend I was talking about, when he was a kid back in the 70s, his dad owned some land. He lived up in New Hampshire. He leased about 200 acres to his farmer. He lost about 20 head of cattle that summer, and they were seeing lights. Every time you said something about lights, and he mentioned that, and I said, holy cow, she's seeing lights. There was a flash through the bedroom window. He said, oh my God, what color was it? I said, I don't know.
The flashlight, the light flash was bright white.
Bright white.
Just like a camera went off at nighttime. That's just like a fast flash.
And then it was gone.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And it was bright. It's like our whole little room flash.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember it, and like she had told me that she'd seen them before, and I was just like, yeah, okay,
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're seeing, dreaming, whatever. But then, like, we're sitting there one night watching TV, and then all of a sudden, I seen it, and I was just like,
What the hell
what
was
is that? And she's like, that's them lights I've been telling you about.
Damn.
But I mean, besides that, it's really nothing. Which I don't get freaked out easy anyway, so I can see something that's
Right.
there's that.
Well, you were telling me you've already had paranormal experiences
Yeah.
going back. So
Yeah.
I can understand where that's
But
coming
see,
from.
Here at this place, there's really nothing weird feeling. You know how you can get eerie feeling. There's nothing like that.
Right. And you guys have been here, what, 3 years now?
Two?
Two?
About 2.5
A little over
now.
2.
And this is the first time anything like this has happened.
Yeah.
Besides the goat.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
the goat.
This experience here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the goat got us, like, it was weird because, like, the way that the goat's head was just took,
Yeah.
like, for a week, like, we couldn't get over that. Like, it was just weird. But, eventually, we just kind of put it back in the back of our minds.
We
And it was
just
just,
said it was a bear.
yeah, we kind of just said it was bear and
Right.
just kind of left it. But then the horse,
Yeah.
that completely opened the goat thing right back up.
Right.
Because, what just comes and takes a whole horse?
Yeah.
Over a fence.
over a fence and drags it up this far.
I mean, you can tell it's just steep land. It's not like it went downhill.
Yeah, like why? I mean, you'd think that something, you know, that might have struggled a little bit would have took the path of least resistance.
Yeah,
and
and
went
took it
down
downhill.
that way, you know, across a little creek.
Let it come up here.
Yeah. Like when they come, they're coming this way and they're going that way.
Right.
They're not coming from that way and going this way. They're not coming back uphill. So whatever took that thing was stout and strong and tall, and it went this way with it. Like, I mean, you seen the bank right there, how kind of steep it was.
Oh yeah.
You know, right there beside that tree. I mean, it came around the fence, down them steps, and back up this hill. Because that horse was laying, the pictures that she sent me that morning, that horse was laying right down yonder. And whatever took it come this way.
And whatever took it carried it.
Yeah, it picked it up and just took
it. That.
So,
And another thing that really gets me is the exsanguination, the loss. There's the absence of blood in the body. No blood in the cavity. I was looking at the picture she sent me. You got a deer, there's gonna be blood. Once you pull them guts out,
yeah.
you're gonna have a gut pile and a pile of blood. And even after something comes and gets the guts, there's still gonna be a big old stain. And there's no blood anywhere. That boggles my mind.
Yeah. And it's like there's no blood trail, like going out of the fence coming this way. Like you think if something got it right there and like killed it right there,
Yeah.
it would have, you know, left some kind of blood trail, and there was nothing. And then, you know, you take the account that the coat was took off. Not unbuckled or anything like that. It was just, I guess, pulled back over top of the head and slung 10 foot from the horse. Because, you know, I mean, it had two straps that like run up underneath her belly.
Yep.
And then it had like the hole that her head went through. Well, I mean, it had to have been took off over her head and through her legs. So,
damn.
What would have done that? And you think if it was a big cat, there would have been like claw marks all in that dang coat, and there's nothing.
Yeah, it would have tore it apart.
Yeah. The coat's
Chew through the nylon.
clean, besides the blood that's on the inside of it.
That man.
Yeah. I mean, it just, I don't know. Something's out here. Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, I don't know. Something's out here.
Yeah.
Might not be, you know, Bigfoot. Could be. I don't know. But there's something out here.
Right. There is.
Something, and it took a miniature pony and run with it.
It makes you feel small, don't it?
Yeah, it does. Because that dang thing probably weighed as much as I did.
Now, I'm gonna be open and honest with you. This is something I'll carry on my side all the time when I come out here.
Yeah.
And tonight, when I come out here, I brought my rifle just in case.
Yeah.
It's a 45-70. One night, I got run out of a camping spot. I was camping solo.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I ain't never been so scared in my life. I had that 45-70. I could hunt Cape Buffalo with it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it wouldn't done me a damn bit of good. I grabbed my stuff and I got the hell out of Dodge. I don't know. But this right here, this is crazy. And I'm looking, you got fence line all up here.
Mm-hmm. If it kept going this way with it, I wonder if it drug it over that fence and maybe that might be something.
Your dogs ever act funny at night? Just act like he was.
I'm not hearing another bark. You know, dogs go bark and bark and bark.
Yep.
Now, my oldest dog, he had I guess she's the oldest and by far the toughest. And she come out, there was a time where she went through this little spell where the dog was afraid to use the bathroom outside. She didn't want to be outside, and she didn't have nothing. She didn't have nothing to do with being outside. And she would like whimper and cry. Anytime you went to put her out, she'd lock up the brakes, heading towards the door, and you couldn't put that dog outside without having to pick her up and carry her.
How long ago was this?
I don't know. It's been a while, but I want to say it was right before the goat got killed.
Oh, so it, yeah.
But since then, she's been fine. And like the last I mean, she didn't do anything, you know, before the horse got took or after. It's just weird. She's a tough dog, you know, and she'll bark at everything. But she just went through this one little spell for a couple weeks where she didn't want to have nothing to do with being outside. But other than that, the dogs have been fine. You know, like I said, though, they'll come out here at night, though, and they'll bark, and they'll bark, and they'll bark. And, you know, I'll come out here, and I'll shine a light or something, and I'll never see nothing.
Right.
But they'll keep barking.
Back out here in this direction? Or?
Yeah. They'll come right back there beside that garage, and they'll bark this way.
Okay. Yep. Trying to put two and two together. The way your dog acted, I've heard that account many a time.
But, I mean, they'll chase bears. Anything that they can see and, you know, they think they can take.
Right.
Even if it's a bear, they'll chase them. They'll chase them off. But something had her spooked.
Had to be something big and mean.
Mm-hmm. And another thing, too, about, you know, that gets me about maybe it being, you know, a big cat.
Right.
Why wouldn't it take one of my dogs?
Exactly.
Like, I mean, they're outside, you know, 90% of the time for the picking. And I got two little bitty puppies that, you know, they wouldn't be able to get away from that thing.
Right.
It'd just be an easy snack. But whenever it come and got that horse, it wanted it. It wanted a good meal out of it.
Yep. The fact that it left it laying long enough for her to get pictures of it, then she'd turn it right around and come back and take a look at it, and you'd find absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Like no evidence besides that hair that it was even here.
I mean, looking at those pictures, man, and from the way she described how she looked before she was taken to after she was taken, and how, she looked like she was deflated.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, great day.
Yep. And another thing too, when something big is killed, like whether it be a deer or bear or whatever around here,
Yeah.
you see
Buzzards. Yeah.
And I ain't seen the first buzzard since that horse has been killed. I ain't seen one. So she ain't around.
Nope.
There ain't even, I guess, any pieces laying around anywhere. She's just...
They be lighting on bone, too, man.
Yeah, like she's just gone.
Yeah.
I ain't seen the first buzzard since last weekend.
That's a damn good indicator, too.
Yeah.
All right, man, I'm going to get... Maybe it is. Maybe it is a damn Sasquatch. Maybe it's just passing through.
It could have been.
I mean, I just... That's the only thing I can think of.
I think 30, 40 buzzards circle around one little itty deer laying
Yes,
on
sir.
the side of the road. And
Yep.
I ain't seen the first buzzard come out here for a piece of anything. So that's another thing that kind of got me. Wherever she went to, whatever got her, it took her a long way.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's a lot of forest cover around here. There's, I got to looking at it. Look at all that laurel.
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
it looks a lot like where I do my, my investigations and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, it's all the way up and down the Parkway.
yeah.
I mean, you know, as well as I do the Parkway, it goes for a long way.
Yep.
So,
Oh,
I can get on the Parkway right here and go plumb to North Carolina,
yes, sir.
or go the other way, probably go all the way to West Virginia.
Yep.
So, like, seriously, and she's like, no, listen to me for a second. And I'm like, I know, it had to be a bear, or, you know, maybe a mountain lion or something. And she goes, no, listen to me. I was like, okay, you have 5 minutes of my time for this Bigfoot thing. And then she started to, you know, stating the obvious. The coat was took off of it. There are no claw marks anywhere.
Yeah.
Whatever took it was super strong, and
Yeah.
like it pulled it over the fence, like, because she said that you could see like mud from the coat and the horse on each side of the fence, like it had been pulled over sideways. And I was just like, okay, let's say it is Bigfoot. Why Floyd County? And she was just like, I mean, who knows? They could be everywhere. You just don't never see one.
Honestly, this, like I was saying, this may be an isolated incident. This may be just it passing through.
Well, yeah, but the thing about that is that goat. That's what gets me. That goat. Like, I had the goat got killed back in, I want to say it was the end of May, early June.
Oh, that's far back.
Yeah. Like, it's not like it happened, 2 weeks for the horse. It was like...
Now, that's good to know, because I didn't really know the timeline. I
Yeah.
was thinking like it was just a few weeks ago.
No, the
before
goat
horse.
happened, like, back at the
Months.
beginning of the summer. That's when the goat happened.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And then this happened last weekend with the horse. So that's what gets. That's why I said, when we first started talking, I don't want to keep feeding this thing.
No.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm worried about now. I'm worried that maybe this thing has figured out that, I got, small livestock now, and
A free meal.
this is a honey hole for free meals.
Exactly.
And that's why I told her and the kids, I said, I'm not getting anything else to put outside till we figure out what's going on. Because I don't want to go get, a couple more goats and them come get, something come get them, or, get another, little horse.
Yeah.
It gets gone, or get a cow, it gets gone. You just don't know.
Well, you leave, I don't know. I'm not saying there's any experts in the field. There's a lot of people out here with a lot more experience in the stuff than I do. A lot of them say if you put lights up around your house, they'll pretty much keep them away.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only other thing I know of. Dogs. This sweet pup might be a meal.
Yeah, that's another thing I'm worried about.
They get out here and start running. What a sweetheart.
Yeah.
You got them running out here, and
Mhm.
the biggest part of them, every story I've heard ain't good when it deals with these pups.
And I mean, the dogs love to just roam around in the woods and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to keep them. I'm not gonna keep my dogs tied, period. But
Amen to that.
I've got, when they get to where they're wanting to chase cars and stuff,
That's
like,
different.
I'll put collars on them, the invisible collars,
Right.
and that'll just keep them from chasing cars,
Yeah.
you know, and then when I take the collars off, they know, you know, hey, if we chase cars, he's going to put this collar back on us and we don't get to do nothing.
Right.
So, but they like to get up here and run around in the woods and chase each other and play and stuff, and I don't want to take that away from them, but at the same time, I don't want them took either.
Right.
Is that right? But that's just, I mean, that's just the gist of all of it. Maggie, our oldest dog, the one I told you, you know,
Yep.
thinks that she's the toughest. She's part chow. She's chow mixed with German Shepherd.
So she's got balls.
Yeah, she does. But, and whatever had her that week or whatever,
Yeah.
whimpering, it was, whatever it was pretty bad. And she didn't want to have nothing to do with it. But, I don't know, man.
Well, this cover right here, there's a lot of people doing. I know a fellow right now he's working with a bunch of guys doing research on them, and they've got a theory about their camouflage ability. You know, some of the First Nations people call them Sabe, the people, the ones who hide.
Yeah.
That's what they call them. And they talk about how their hair, they've got hair samples. Man, they've got DNA and all this other shit. Well, that's a whole nother story. What they're focusing on is the fact that their hair is almost hollow. It's like glass, and it refracts. It can refract light.
Oh,
Not
wow.
reflect it, but refract it, and almost make it look invisible.
Yeah.
You know how light will shine on water, and pretty much what you're seeing is the water
Yeah.
on another thing. It's like that. So they'll get in here, and they'll just meld down, and you won't be able to see them. When I'm out in the woods, I'm looking down, I'm looking around, and I'm looking up.
Yeah.
Especially now. Especially now.
Yeah. That's
I've had some. All right.
I never imagined anything like that. See, I always think, you know, when I think about Sasquatch, you know, I'm thinking big, brown or black and hairy, you know, running through the woods, you know. I mean, staying kind of hid away from people, but, you know, I never thought about, you know, their hair being like that or anything. That could explain a lot of why, you know, you never see one.
Something hit you?
Something felt like it was touching the back of my dang head. And I was thinking maybe it was a briar hanging there or something, but there ain't shit there.
No.
Anyways.
So, the more I learned, the more I found out I need to learn.
Yeah.
And the information is deep and wide, and it's a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
It's up to you whether you go down it or not. But most people say, it's not for me. I'm gonna try and live my life and get along, do what I got to do, and just go on.
Yeah. Well, me, I mean, I went from curious to worried.
Yeah.
Because
That's the whole reason why I'm here, bro.
yeah, like the goat was one thing. You know, I didn't really ever think it would be Bigfoot. You know, I just thought, you know, bear. But then I told Heather, I was like, why wouldn't it just take the whole thing?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it like, I mean, a bear big enough, you know, it could pick a goat up with its dang mouth and just, you know, carry it off.
Yeah, I've seen some big black bear around here.
Yeah. Like, why would it, you know, do what it did? And the way it did it was what freaked me out, but how clean it was. Like, it wasn't bit and tore off. It was almost like it was cut.
Yeah.
And, like, you couldn't even, it was cut so good that I couldn't see the spine. Like, inside. Like, you know how when you, like.
So the hide just pretty much fold over the wound.
like it didn't like fold over. It was just like cut off. But like you know how when you cut, like, say I was to take and cut a deer's head off, just completely off.
Yeah.
Like, take something clean, whack it off, but the meat wasn't hanging out. It was just clean, like it was sliced. And that bone on that vertebrae, like right there in the middle, it wasn't showing. Like, I didn't see it.
So it hit the vertebrae right at the disc. It knew exactly where to hit.
Yeah.
That's surgical precision.
Yeah, like that's what kind of got me about the goat, because
that's intelligence.
Yes, like it wasn't like it was mauled and like ripped off.
Apart.
It was sliced.
Yeah.
But I got the goat, when I found it, and I buried it.
All right.
So it's like it came back. It's not like, I left it laying there for an hour or so and then come back and got it. Like, as soon as I found it, I took it and buried it.
Right.
And to my knowledge, it was never dug up or anything, because it was like I buried it right down there behind the garage.
Okay.
So it was never, like, that spot wasn't never messed with. Like, I checked on it to make sure wasn't nothing else coming and, digging it up, but it was never messed with. The dogs didn't even mess with it. So, but yeah, and I never found the head anywhere. Like, I walked all down in there around where I found it, and I never found the head.
Damn.
So, but yeah, the way that goat was killed, I mean, it blew my mind. But it's like I told her, we thought about it for about a week, but eventually we just put it out in the it was just some weird thing, and a bear got the goat.
Right.
But then this happened with the horse.
Yeah.
So, that's why I told you. It just, I don't know, man. I don't want to keep putting stuff out here, but I don't want to, like, completely stop doing, getting animals, because I like to get, I like to hunt, and, I like to raise my own meat.
Yep.
They're right down there next to the fence barking.
Is that where they normally go to?
Mm-hmm. No kids are out there now. So they quit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they always come to this back lot right here, bark and bark and bark. Poodle seen a bear the other night. Bear come right down through here, across the creek, back out the other side of the trees.
Wow.
Yep.
But, I don't want to go into this. I don't want to ever go into a situation like this thinking that I try to rule out everything first before I go to a cryptid.
Right.
I was thinking right off the hand, I said, man, that sounds so much like a freaking Sasquatch, man. That's why I want to come out here.
Yeah.
And when I found out you had kids, I was like, Jesus Christ, now I got to get out there.
Yeah.
I felt guilty as shit if I know something, I can't share that with you. But lights, man.
Yeah.
Lights up. That's probably about the best defense you got.
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna sit down here and wait for it to waste it.
Well, I ain't got time for that.
No, I guarantee. I figured that.
But yeah, I guess I'll be putting up some lights then, like a lot of them. But yeah, it's just
Different.
I don't know, it just worries me now.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's good. I hate to say that, but you're smart.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who would just say, "Oh, it ain't nothing." It was just like they would absolutely dismiss it as a bear
Yeah.
or a cat, and it's done moved on.
Well, I mean, I would have, but I looked for obvious signs like claw marks.
Right.
In anything. Like, there ain't no claw marks in the fence, there ain't no claw marks in the coat of that horse. It's just that the horse was killed and the coat was took off of it. And the horse was carried off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what carries off a whole horse?
Yeah.
Like, even a miniature one, I mean, they're still big.
Sorry, a cat. Cat wouldn't do that.
Mm-mm. I mean,
Cat's strong.
yeah, I figure a cat would, like, drag it.
It would have drug it downhill, man.
Yeah.
Not up.
Not up here. Yeah. And another thing, too, is like I said before, you know, if it was some kind of, like, predator, like a cat or a bear or something, you'd still find parts.
Right.
Like,
You would.
the guts would be coming out of the thing at least.
Yep.
And, you know, you might find, like, you know, a piece of something, you know, a leg that been left behind, anything, but there is nothing. There's no evidence that thing was ever even here, besides that bloody coat that ain't even got claw marks in it or teeth marks.
Right. I mean, there's hair on the ground, but
Yeah.
what does that mean?
Right.
You
It
know?
means it got drug.
Right.
Yeah. For a little bit, or maybe even laid down there for a minute. But that thing was carried. I don't care what anybody says.
I agree.
Something like slung it over its shoulder, or, you know, carried it like this and walked away with it.
Coming up the hill, you
Yep.
would still see the depression in the ground.
Yep.
The leaves would have been moved out the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell where turkeys have been out here scratching.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the sign.
Yeah.
I can tell that.
Mm-hmm.
I saw where they pooped.
Yeah.
You,
But there's no evidence of, like, there's no evidence that horse was killed by a cat or a bear or anything like that, because there's nothing left behind.
Yeah.
Like, not a thing.
yeah. And like we were saying,
And if it was, you know, a bear, I have a feeling that a bear wouldn't have come around the fence like it did and walked back up this way. It'd have just drug it straight down the bank across the creek, because there's nothing over there.
it would have slung it. It would have rolled it.
Yep.
Save that energy, because
Yeah.
the more it has to work, the more it has to eat.
Yeah, and same thing with a cat. A cat wouldn't have drug that thing up here.
Oh hell no! They're strong, but they.
Yep. Now, like you said, it would have took it down there in the bottom somewhere, and probably would have hid down there in that mountain laurel and ate it.
Yep.
But,
They would have drug it down in the mountain laurel, covered it up, and come back later to eat.
But it got drug up here and left for a little bit.
For out in the open.
Yep. Well, I guess let's walk back down yonder.
Yeah, I'll let you get back to it. There's a correlation between the appearance of these balls of light that sometimes people see in the woods or anything like that, what Heather saw, and appearances with Sasquatch.
Yeah.
How long has she been seeing these things?
She's been seeing that stuff every once in a while the whole time we lived here, I believe.
Really?
Yeah. Like, she's always, like, seen, you know, the weird stuff, like, that I wouldn't believe.
Right.
But, like, this was the first time that when I seen the light. And that was, I don't know, a few weeks ago, probably.
Right.
Because I just thought that she was seeing things, you know, or maybe wasn't getting enough sleep, but then I seen it. And it was just like, it was almost like it was a big, bright, professional camouflage. And, I mean, it was like lightning. But there was no thunderstorm. The skies were clear.
Right.
Because I walked to the window and looked up, and all I seen was stars.
Damn.
And where we live at, you can see the stars pretty good, because there are no lights here.
Yeah, I see that the light pollution is probably pretty slim.
Yeah.
Oh, girl.
But I mean, what would have drug it this way?
Right. I think more likely than not, it was a Squatch that did it. I was listening to what you've told me, what he's told me, and listening. You know, you can only convey so much through text. The fact that it come here, carried it off.
Yeah.
Don't touch my red sock.
If it had been a bear or a big cat, it would have took it down in there
Yeah.
somewhere.
For the water. Towards the water.
No.
And this drug it uphill.
She wants you. She's in
I was hoping it'd be something else. The only thing, like I said, I suggested was put lights. So Matt said you've been seeing those lights just about the whole time you've been living here?
No, I've seen them about 3 times.
Really?
But it adds up about the whole time, I guess you'd say. Because it's not like back to back.
Right.
But no, I haven't seen them for probably, I don't know, a long time.
What, the lights?
Yeah.
We seen them a few weeks ago.
No,
It was?
it wasn't that close.
Since we both seen the lights together, it's only been like 3 weeks.
Well, now I thought it was longer than that.
No. No, I
I
remember.
couldn't tell you anyhow because I'm bad with time, so. But now I've seen it about 3 times. He's seen it once.
We were sitting in the bedroom. I was watching The Office. You were doing something on your computer. And,
I think you're talking about the light in the bathroom.
no, I'm talking about the light from outside.
Oh.
Like there was flashing lights, almost like a camera flash. And, you know, I said, what was them lights? And you looked at me and you're like, oh, did you see them?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, what was that?
Well, what I'm talking about is the night we laid down and closed our eyes and the whole room lit up.
I
There
remember.
wasn't no TV
Well, then there
going.
was 2 times then.
That's the time I'm talking about.
Okay, well then I seen it 2 times then.
Okay, well then you've seen it twice, but I've seen it 3 times.
That's enough to collaborate a story
It
where
comes
it's
from
just
that way.
okay.
Because I see our room's on the front of the house, and it's one of those big bay windows. And like it light up the whole room, and it's just one quick flash.
Yeah.
What's on the other side of that pines? There's somebody else. Is there another house or anything?
Nobody lives over
living?
there.
Nobody lives in
Nobody
that
lives
one.
there.
And the guy, there's a guy that lives over there.
But it's at the end of the road.
Yeah, but he only comes up on the weekends.
Okay.
And it's like it's not even every weekend. Like he'll come up, you know, during hunting season, and he'll come up during the summer to mow the yard.
But now the
But he
lights
lives
I
in
see
Roanoke.
going in the sky, they come from behind the mountain.
Yeah.
They'll come from like behind, you see that tree line?
Yeah.
They come right up from behind there. Every once in a while come up in these.
Oh. It'll come up over here too.
I mean, not right here, but,
But
yeah.
over
you can see it coming up
over
in
the
these
ridge,
trees,
yeah.
over the ridge right there. And there's nothing there, nothing but a parkway. So it's just all, it's like this way. I don't see much this way, but then again, I don't have really that many windows over here
Right.
that I can see.
Yeah.
So I didn't like to do it that way too, but I know for a fact it's a lot that way. So,
Wow. Yeah.
Why can I come?
You got me looking
Oh.
up now, Lee.
Well, Matt, you're doing right, man. Because they'll get up in trees. Yeah.
now a few months ago we did hear something keep on knocking.
Yeah,
here.
I forgot about that. We heard knocking.
And
Okay.
it happened, it was a few days worth of knocking.
Okay.
And it wasn't no, what do you call them, woodpeckers.
No, it wasn't a
This was
woodpecker.
different kind of knocking. This was like somebody's taking a bat to a tree kind of knocking.
Really?
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Was it only in one place or did it shift?
It sounded like it was all over.
Well,
Oh.
it was from like here to over there, but it was all on this side, not that side. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It was all on this side
I
of the
never.
woods.
Last
I didn't
time
even
we
think
had
about that.
something and the
I guess this
doors
is
and
one of them things
it
that you don't
knocked
think about.
in my door and my closet.
What?
Her closet.
Oh,
But yeah,
I forgot about
but
that.
that was what, back in the summer?
yeah.
At our old house, it happened. That
When I've got some sounds of some wood knocks on my channel. I catch them early in the morning. My nephew was with me, and we were camping out. It's probably back in late April, early May. And we're sitting around the campfire, just chilling, and you hear
That's about what we heard. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
almost sounded like somebody beating on hammering plywood
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Yeah.
a mending fence.
Yeah, that's what it
Pop,
sounds like.
pop,
Yeah.
pop, pop. And I'm like, he's like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
I looked at him and I said, you want to know what that is?
last time me and Charlie had someone knocking, and we looked at both of the doors, and no one was there.
Oh.
But besides that, I mean, it's usually pretty
Like,
quiet.
it happened
We've
when
never
me
heard
and
no
Chloe
weird
and
like
Caitlin was-
screams or nothing. Well, he says he heard something. What'd you say? It sounded kind of something like crying, but not like a bobcat.
Yeah. Like I know what a bobcat crying sounds like. This was like a bobcat. I couldn't even describe to you what it was.
What did it sound
I
like?
just said I couldn't describe what it was, Michael.
But no, I've never heard nothing.
And I only heard it. I've heard it like once or twice, you know, and it was, you know, distance in between when I heard it.
Right.
But it's not like nothing that I've ever really thought about. It's just weird, you know. It's like, I guess you'd call it one of them wood sounds. You know, you hear something out in the woods. And,
Exactly.
Yeah.
The fella we talked to the other day was asking us if we ever hear dead silence, like everything stops, and we hear that a lot.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about that. I'm glad you brought it up.
We hear that'll happen a lot.
Like,
Like you'll hear the crickets or the leaves or whatever, and then like you go outside, it's just so eerie and silent.
Yeah.
Like you can hear a twig drop,
That's
and
when it
you
freaks
just
me
like
out to
back
be
in the
outside.
house, you
So you
know
hear
you don't need to
nothing.
be outside. It's like you know something's there, like
Yeah.
looking at you,
yeah.
but you think it's in your mind. But either way, your body just makes you go back in because you ain't playing.
Right.
That happens here a lot. A lot. And there's too many, leaves and trees and, stuff for it to be silent here.
Right.
There's too much.
Absolutely. Yep.
But it turns silent a lot around here.
I had one come in the garage one time.
I mean, we was out here, yesterday and seen two
Yeah.
standing right there.
It was, I think it was Thursday night. And there
At the
was two
creek.
right over there.
Coyotes. I mean, there's a lot of wildlife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bears, I can explain that familiarity because this is the Parkway right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And they used to people throwing out trash and all that other stuff, and they associate people with grub.
Yep.
Caitlin's toilet.
But this is a whole different thing. I didn't know you heard that. I didn't know you heard the silence.
Yeah.
I have
All of the evidence that is pointing to,
Daddy.
well, I was hoping wouldn't be.
Well,
Daddy.
I can tell you not much scares me, and that's not me trying to be big and bad, but that silence right there,
Yeah.
that'll get you like something nothing does.
I know. I know. All right. I've been open. It's what they are. They're a people. It's just my opinion.
Yeah.
You agree? That's intelligence. How they cut.
Yeah.
It's intelligence how they came in and took the horse. How they gutted it.
Yeah.
It's intelligence how they came back, left out with it, and didn't leave a sign.
Yeah.
I mean, extreme intelligence,
Yeah.
and something that is so in tune with its environment, we can't hold a candle to it.
No.
A bear
No,
would
you
catch Caitlin's
And
horse.
I told him, I don't think I told you, when something gets killed around here, whether it's a deer, bear, whatever, you'll see buzzards, I mean, out from everywhere. Like you see 20, 30 buzzards on a deer on the parkway.
How about you didn't see one on the
I ain't seen a
I
buzzard
noticed
all
that too.
week.
I noticed that too. Yep,
So
there's
it's
not
like I
been
told
none.
him, whatever took that thing, carried it as far away from here as it could, because I ain't seen the first buzzard all week,
Yeah.
like at all.
Well, the dogs will be going to get it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just know how to stop when I was at the door coming in.
But I mean, like I told you and like I told him, when I got home that day, I walked all the way up that side right there where you said that it was laying. There wasn't a sign of it. It's just gone.
And two, you see how many dogs we have.
Yes.
And they will raise some pain over anything.
Right.
And they've not acted, I mean, it's like they've not known anything is going on.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because they can smell a bear coming across the parkway and they'll run
Yeah.
if their collars are off, you know. But it's like,
That tells me they knew which way the wind was blowing, and they were downwind from these dogs, and there was
But
no
now
way they would be able to see it.
she's inside because she's kind of mean. She is the mean dog, I guess you'd say. And something's got her tore up to where she'll cry. What was it, for about 2 weeks or something?
I love
Told
this.
him about that.
I love this right here.
About
Yeah.
2 weeks, I guess.
This is
Around 2
good.
weeks, something like that. She would sit there and just, I mean, cry day in, day night. Didn't even want to go outside. If she did, she'd be cowered down somewhere.
Right.
And that's not like that dog. I mean, at all.
Yeah.
And we couldn't figure that out.
No. Like I told you.
Yeah. It was big and bad what it
Yep,
was.
whatever it was, she didn't want to have nothing to do with it, and she wanted to nowhere outside around it.
There's,
But she's one of them that chases bears.
Yeah.
So she's not
She'd
scared.
be the
of
first
bears.
one to take off after
Right.
the bear. But like, whatever it was.
Well, I guess what gets me the most is that coat. If it was an attack, you'd
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
scratches or cuts or something on the coat, you
Yeah.
know. I would think, anyhow. Quit.
I'm just, I'm saying that about the only thing you can do right now. The only thing I know to do is put up lights, motion sensor lights or something. Put up lights out here around your barn and around your house, so that they're not coming up to your house and slapping the side of your house.
Yeah. Well, see, we've been fortunate nothing like that's happened. But now it's real dark here. Right here's about the most light we've got, and it's not much.
Yeah.
It
This-
stays dark out here.
This right here is not enough to keep them away. After reviewing the evidence, both physical and testimonial, it's my conclusion that there is something else on the property. As of right now, I don't know what it is. The strange lights. There are two different types described. The flashes of light and the streaks and balls of light that fly or hover. There's something else there on the property and around the property. And I believe that there's something there that is attracting these beings to this family. It's just what the evidence is pointing to. Is it benign or malevolent? Is it sinister in nature? The animal mutilations would point you in the direction of saying yes, it is. But whatever is in the area that is attracting this phenomena, the Sasquatch and the lights to this area, is something that is yet to be determined. I've asked the family that if they have any more interactions and have any more activity, to contact me and let me know. This is an ongoing case. As of right now, things have settled down, but in the future, that could change. Either way, I'm here to help, and I've got people willing to help me help them.